Andy, you've been long active in the IETF. Can you tell us a little bit more? What is your background? What did you do?
My background started in networking when I went to San Francisco State, and I worked for a professor who was at that time at Pacific Bell and got me interested in networking. Then I got a job at David Systems in Sunnyvale working on networking, and we were implementing bridging, and they needed somebody to implement the bridge MIB.
Benoit, you're very well known in the NetFlow community. Can you tell us a little bit more about your background on NetFlow? When did you get involved?
So I always had a passion for network management and monitoring, accounting, performance, and I joined Cisco in '96 as a customer support engineer, and there I was in the NMS team supporting the applications and the protocol. But NetFlow was the obvious one for me, right, for monitoring and accounting and performance.
Wes, nice to have you here.
Oh, it's good to be here. Thank you.
You're Mr. NetSNMP?
I am, yes. I started it a while ago.
Can you tell a little bit more? I think it was UCD SNMP.
So actually, even before that, it actually came from CMU SNMP. Yeah. And then Steve Wallbuster left CMU, and back in 90-ish, we had need within the University of California to monitor a whole bunch of troubleshooting kind of problems across the electrical engineering department.
Hi, David.
Good
nice
morning.
You're here. You're well known in the IETF. Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
I left for a year, hoping I'd get over that.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. A little bit about myself.
Yeah.
Sure, I've been doing IETF work for about 20 years. I started out in SNMP land, moved over, worked on security in SNMP, worked over to security in Syslog.
Dan, nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me here.
You've been very active in standardization, not only in the IETF, but also in IEEE. Can you tell a little bit about your activities?
Well, I'm involved in these activities. Actually, I'm involved in network management for the last 23 or 24 years. So I started at the end of the 80s working on as a software engineer.
Jürgen, it's nice to have you here. You've been one of the editors of the SMI version 2 standards. What problems of the first version of SMI did version 2 solve?
Well, actually, if you look back into the history of the SMI language, the very first language version wasn't really a language. So when SNMP was created initially, there was an informal description of what the various objects are and what they mean. And it was later on.
Hi, nice to have you here.
Yeah.
You're expert in IPFix. Can you tell us a bit about your background in IPFix?
Well, it started probably in 2005. How much detail should I go into here? I can go into enormous amounts of detail.
Wow. It's up to you.
So basically, I'd been working on flow collection systems for a while. We were using primarily NetFlow, V5, V9, and a few sort of proprietary collectors and proprietary formats.
Ken, nice you're here. Since when are you involved in NetConf?
My first introduction to NetConf was when I joined Juniper. Juniper had acquired a company called NetScreen, and at NetScreen we had implemented something similar ourselves using proprietary protocols. And when I joined Juniper and I realized what IETF had been doing with NetConf.
Bert, nice to have you here. You've a long experience in IETF and SNMP. Can you tell us a little bit what has been your experience? What have you been doing?
In the SNMP space, you mean, I guess,
Yeah.
to begin with. Yeah. So I was working at IBM in mainframe business, and we were doing, automated operations. We were looking at dark data centers. And we used software from IBM Research in Yorktown Heights, New York.